All right, welcome everyone. That's a nice intro. Love that intro every time. I had to put the chat on slow mode because there's just too many people in here. We already have 250 people watching live. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining here today at this 40K celebration live stream where we are celebrating our own awesomeness and the community. You guys have made this possible. If it weren't for you guys, then we wouldn't be here. So thank you all for joining these live streams and making it to what it is. And thank you, Rich, for being here and joining us on this special occasion.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Always an opportunity to jump in the fives and just I'm going to moan about the trades I took earlier. When that time comes, I'm going to
We'll do it. What I want to do, and I just want to put some ground rules, just because some people are here all the time, and then some people have just come to celebrate with us the 40K. So I just want to put some ground rules. Obviously, the giveaway, we're not going to announce the giveaway straight away. The giveaway is going to be during the stream. We've got a couple of guests coming on, and they're going to be with us doing interviews, and we're also going to do some live trading and things like that. Please don't spam the chat with any kinds of randomness. Okay, we're here and we're looking for traders to get some value out of this as well, so please try not to spam the chat. Any kind of questions that you want, we will star them and we'll go over them. And yeah, let's just keep it really fun, and that's it. That's the ground rules, I think.
Yeah, so got a lot of people in here. While you're here, make sure that you do hit that like button. And if you're new here, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. You have to be subscribed actually right in the comments. And like I said, I've put the chat on slow mode, so you can only write one message every minute. Because from time to time we get a lot of spam. So we gotta keep that.
Do you go into? I'll go into the back end. I'm just gonna put on the back end that only subscribers can comment.
I've just done that. That's why I said. That's what I said. That's why I said that.
Now you have to be a subscriber.
Right. So remember, we're a trading. We're traders. This is a trading live stream, and today I want to talk about the massive. The music, man. The music is so loud. I can't even hear myself think. Can I lower it just a little bit?
I can. Rich, do you hear the music loud, or is it Jonathan with his mic?
I only just hear it.
Yeah, mate. Your headphones are on super duper.
Maybe it is
loud.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna put it low. Okay, maybe it's my headphones. Anyway, today we have this week we have major news events. We have today at in 10 minutes we have the ADP non-employment change for the US. We got employment claims as well. 15 minutes after that, and then we have the ISM services PMI at 4 today. Well, I guess depends on where you are, but it's in 2 hours. And then tomorrow, obviously, we have the elections in the UK, and right before that we have CPI for the Swiss franc, and then the day on Friday we have unemployment rate and unemployment change for the Canadian dollar. We also have non-farm not non-farm payroll, but we have non-farm employment change and unemployment rate for the US. So every day throughout the rest of the week, we're going to have some major news events. So I just want to give you guys a heads up to take it easy while you're out there making millions in the markets. If you're trying to make millions in the market today, this week, what I'm saying is take it easy because you don't want to give it away.
Should we jump straight in?
Yesterday, I had an amazing run yesterday. Started off with joining Rich at Tradelicious. Took a couple of trades on there. I remember talking about how I'm probably over trading, which I was. Opened way too many positions. Went over into the live trading room, opened more positions, and they all hit TP. Such a good day, such a good over trading day. Obviously, I kind of felt that I made money for all the wrong reasons. That's the feeling I have. But going through the settings, going through the setups, it kind of made sense from a technical perspective, but I still had that feeling, I'm doing something wrong here. So I took a decision to not trade today. Did I follow that decision? I did not. Well,
Yes,
I did.
Wow, I
'cause-
should have just put a bet on. Honestly, I said this yesterday. It was just not going to happen, was it?
Yeah, well, actually, I did put in orders for a trade. And then I had to remove those orders because the trade was invalidated. So now I'm here. We're doing this celebration giveaway, and I'm thinking, yeah, let's not. I don't want to. Let's not trade today. So if you guys see me trade today, please let me know in the comments. Remind me to do what I say and not what I want to do. You know. As
well, we got quite a lot of people in the chat, which is quite good. Should we just go over some of the trades and we'll talk? Rich, I'll hand it over to you. You can talk a little bit about your trades. But this week so far has been just picture perfect when it comes to EU. Obviously, we had. If you've been in the trading room with us for the entire week, you would have seen us play and trade this. I did. So the week obviously opened. You've got the weekly open right here. I'm going to put it into a bit of a bigger marker so everybody can see that is the weekly open. So we had a gap up. We had obviously divergence at the top here. We also then had a push down and a retrace back down to the weekly open. We had a trade from here back down to the weekly open. Also that deviation just under all of these lows, taking anybody out and obviously opening a lot of orders there. And then we've had a continuation, and I'm looking for the prior month, well, this week's Monday high to be taken out. So we had one position here, we had it over news, we did reduce it 3 lots, and now we've got a running 2 lots there. We also saw a break retest continuation type of trade where we've just taken the fibs. Some people like calling this the golden pocket. I just like calling it a fib. And then obviously we've had the break, the retest around the EMAs for a continuation, and price is now consolidating, which looks as like that typical kind of like flag pattern, which you would look to trade a little bit like this. You've got then standard technical kind of technical patterns where you would take the pole, just put it on top, and there you go. You've got loads of confluence around this area, and we've just been trading it in and out over the last couple of days, which has been really, really good. And we'll see what happens with news though. So that's going to really mess us up. What about you?
Remember,
Rich?
guys,
Do you wanna...
just let me just jump in there as always.
Yeah.
Just interrupt everyone and just jump straight in to the conversation. Guys, we had 3 secret giveaways this live stream, and I want you all to hit that like. We currently have almost 600 people watching this live, and we have 400 likes. That means we got a few people that has not hit the like button. If you do hit the like button, then we'll get closer to revealing our 3 special secret super duper awesome giveaways that we got for you people on here today.
God, that was so long-winded. Basically, we're giving 3 people 3 active.
That's a secret, though.
Oh, that's a secret.
That was
okay.
that was a secret. Yeah. Rich, take over.
Rich, take it over.
Okay. Let me pull up my charts right quick. We've got about 4 minutes before news hits. I'll run you through a couple of trading opportunities that we were looking at this morning. Alex, you will be both proud of me, and you'll also be a little bit sad as to what happened this morning. So we were streaming this, and I marked up the high and the low of the session. I was watching for a typical break and a retest. Now, I was watching the market, and I was thinking, where can the market pull to? And we managed, I dropped down to the 1 minute. And I don't often trade 1 minute, especially not on stream, because I think it excites too many bad behaviors. So looking at the 1 minute, I was just watching the market and looking to see where it rallies. And I managed to get my sell order. If I show the trade history here, I managed to get my sell order right on this peak here. This is where we were selling this morning. I've got to the point in my trading where I can say it's only a 5-lot trade, Alex. It's been a long time coming to say it's only 5 lots that I managed to get on this. Now, I don't know how to show the history of this, but if I knew how, I would show you the pending orders. And as you can see, looking for a pullback and long, the market by 0.1 pips missed the long entry, 15 lots. And I was like, are you kidding me? Beautiful
Yeah.
little demand zone to the left. We have this structure break to the high side, push up, wick the low one last time, then rally to the high side. And always asking myself this question, where's the market running to? And very often, if it's breaking highs, breaking lows, it's typically going somewhere, or at least that's how I've managed to frame my trading through supply and demand trading. So missed this trade this morning to the long side, sat there with 15 lots, and I was like, come on, this is the one. This is the one we're going to get. And as we can see, the market has just continued to rally ever since. But yeah, it was a good trading day. Not going to complain. We got away with a little over $250, and ready to see what the news does in about 3 minutes from now. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. So you haven't got any trade open? I'm just thinking about. Yeah, no, fair enough. We'll see what's happening. But you've been trading recently. Just you trade mostly EU, GU, a little bit of the DAX as well.
Yeah, it took a beautiful trade. We had this opportunity where the market was rallying. In fact, just finished up in a call in the 5ers Discord, and we were talking about developing strategies. What would you look for? And I was running some traders through the DAX. I'd say this is my second strategy that I trade, and very, very easily just looking for extended move magic candles where we get this wick that closes above the high, candle close below this low, and a beautiful selling opportunity. Then we see a reversal pattern. I typically only take one trade a day with this. So when I saw the market selling off, I was in and out about 5 minutes before the stream started. So it was a nice little profit. And then the market's just absolutely ran. Yeah, good luck dealing with that price action. But
no, I love the volatility though. It's been fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been nice trading conditions recently, especially with GU holding this 4 hour. I'll jump down to the 1 hour, but holding this major structure low. We came really, really close to this low, and the market's just completely rallied. So I think this news event that's coming out in less than 90 seconds, I think it's going to be mega. I think this could be the catalyst for something good, because price seems like it's either priced something in or it's waiting for something.
Go on, and we'll pull over. I'm just going to pull over the chart and let's see what actually happens to this trade when the news comes out, if anything does happen.
I can pull up my 4 screens here. We got
pull up your 4 screens. We can see what's going on with the rest of the
4 screens on here. We
well.
can see what's happening right now. So we got. See if I can pull it up. We got. Oh, I don't have my screen on. Let me get that done first. All right, there we go. So we got the EU, S&P 500, gold, and Bitcoin. What trade were we looking at just now?
Euro. So euro long.
Yeah. Okay. Euro long. So we got on the 1 minute right here. We got news coming out in about 1 minute right here. I'm thinking. Let's look at the 1 hour. Yeah, I mean, to me, local structure screams long. Probably retest lower. I would love to see a tap of that level, like 74.90, and then if you know that what I'm watching here on EU is if I would enter orders for a long, I would probably be looking at something like this, right? A retest of that level and a move higher. But with the news coming out. This is too tight. This is way too tight of a stop loss for me, because I would want to have my stop loss probably down around this area right here. And if the news that comes out, I mean, without the news, I would love to have a trade like this. This above 1 hour, below these lows is 1.5 hour. Even up to the local highs would be a 1 hour trade. So this to me looks like a really good opportunity to look for a retest here on EU. It's a clean breakout. It's going to be a clean retest as well. Haven't retested that level. So right now we got the news coming out.
It's popping up.
Yeah. Yeah, overall, I would say that...
Picture perfect, though. That is... Ooh, I love this relaxing music. We're trading, relaxing music. God, life could be a lot harder.
It's not a massive move though, is it?
It doesn't have to be. I'd prefer a move like this than something just super strong and then super retrace straight away. Okay, that was very anticlimactic. I think the news is out. The news is done.
We've got another 15 minutes, and then we've got another red news folder hitting as well.
Yeah,
be the bigger one. It's going to be like
gotta love FX. Perfect. So we bring on our first guest. If he's
he's
ready,
gonna be
he's
he's gonna be on here later, I believe. He's gonna be on later, right? That's right. He's in the in the background. He's probably typing right now.
Yeah, if we see him shake his head up and down, okay, give it. Okay, fine, fair enough.
He's having lunch.
20 minutes. He's having lunch.
He's an ICT trader. He needs that energy. You know,
eating at his
hunting
desk.
those fair value gaps. Gotta get that lunch. Takes him about 20 minutes to set up the screen. Look for all the order blocks.
That's it, man.
I'm kidding. You know? I'm kidding.
Soldier, absolute soldier.
That's gonna be cool. We're gonna have a ICT trader talking about order blocks, and then Victor's gonna come on later, and it's gonna be like, oh, so that's what an order block is.
What are you guys actually? What are you looking at, Rich? Because I think you're debating whether to get into a position, because that is the rich face of getting into a position.
It is, you know it all too well. I was actually looking at the hourly on EU. We're holding this zone to the high side. Markets come up, and I was looking for it to struggle to break through. We've actually touched into this zone perfectly, and we're just sitting below it. Now, you were talking earlier about a flag pattern. This could be This could absolutely go off to the moon. Now, I'm looking at my other terminal. This kind of one I do a lot of my analysis on. And if this runs this high, I don't see the ceiling. There's a part of me that's kind of hoping this. We won't use the word hope. It's not a good word in trading. There's a part of me that's looking at this level and saying this is, it makes sense why the market's slowed down. But if we break through this, I think a break and a retest is absolutely on the cards. I could see that we can move to the downside. So
that's what I'm feeling now. I feel like that high is just there just to trap all of us, to get everybody going long, to take that liquidity, and then just to come back down and just, destroy everybody. That's why I really do feel like Wednesday's a tricky one.
Yeah.
Don't you guys feel like, when you have news events like this one the whole week, don't you feel like it's just better to take it easy, right? I mean, because I feel like all these news events is just roadblocks, I feel like
that's why I've only got 3 lots on instead of just having the standard 10 that we put on, because that standard 10 right now, be more inclined just to close it off before the news. Then now I've got 3 lots in. I'm happy to hold it within the news. But it does feel weird, doesn't it? When you size down a little bit after you've been sizing up. Now you look at a 5 lot and you're like, well, it's not that big. It's still, a couple of months ago you'd be like, that's big. It's crazy how you go to ranges from ranges,
Okay, so I just pulled up my 5K evaluation account, because I did actually say yesterday that I'm going to be scalping this live stream. So I'm not going to do it with my live account though. It's probably best to do with my evaluation account that I got going. So let's see if we can find some. Yeah, let's see if we can find some interesting trends on the lower time frames. But one pair that I really this is Bitcoin though, so let's change that. MetaTrader. One pair that I really like the trends of is Euro NCD. Not sure if you noticed this, but if you look at Euro NCD, sometimes this is going to give you those picture perfect, especially on the 4 hours, picture perfect trends like this one right here, where you have basically got you have your distribution up here. Trades lower, very nice looking trend to the downside. Got accumulation, break above that accumulation, and it starts trending to the upside. And it's probably going to be trending up to this level again. And you'll find this pattern on Euro NCD, just such beautiful pair. You'll find it over and over again. Now, of course, you'll see this in basically all markets, but on Euro NCD, it's usually very, very clear. The I guess ICT traders would call it something else, but I look at this and I say this is the Dow Jones theory of how the markets move from accumulation to distribution. So what I'm thinking here is Euro NCD. I'm looking at a weekly range right here. We hit the range lows of this. We are probably on our way up to the range EQ, which also coincides with the low of this range up here. So I'm thinking I want to trade this higher. Now, of course, the best entry would have been down here, I looked for a trade this morning on Euro CAD. It's very similar. You have a breakup structure here where you take out these lows, start trending to the downside, hit a high time frame level, breakout, retest the breakout area, and there I had a confirmation of a possible trade. I actually removed orders for this trade, although it would have been filled now, and I would probably be in a interesting position here on this one. But now with the news events coming out, I really feel like I'm not really sure I want to take this trade. And we also have CAD news coming out as well. If it haven't happened, no, that's going to come out in 10 minutes. So obviously not worth taking trade on this. But on Euro, I'm still thinking that we could be taking this to the upside. And one area where I think it's very likely to hit is this level right here. So if we can get a pullback before hitting that level, maybe a pullback down here, I would probably be looking for longs for a move up to that level if that level haven't been hit yet. If we hit that level, I'll be looking for something like this for a move up to that weekly range EQ. So maybe that's something we could be looking at here today. So going into the lower time frames, I do see that we have a consolidating here on the lower time frames. A break and retest at that level might also signal a possible trade. So that's something I'm going to be looking at. I'll be adding one alert here, and then maybe perhaps one alert below. If we can, how many pips would that be? We're talking about a 16 pip move. Stop loss would be around 15, so around 1 hour for this one. So we got the 5-minute candle is closing in 2 minutes. What about the 15-minute? Got 6. So I'm gonna wait for the 15-minute candle.
You smashing it up, absolutely
ballooning. Take a look at you,
ballooning up there.
It's the same here. We're gonna hit this level. I do suspect that we're gonna see a rejection here at this. What happened with that level? Oh, it's a black level. That's weird.
Rich, have you got Twitter?
Yeah, I've got Take Action.
Oh, you do?
Take Action. It's not something that I'm too active on. Mostly, it's just a YouTube channel.
Take Action Trading.
Yeah, I'm gonna add that into the description of this video right away. So you can find Rich on YouTube. He's Take Action Trading, and I will be adding that to the description of the video as well. And I'll also be adding the OTE Traders social as well, so you can go in there and give him a follow as well. While I do that, maybe someone else can take over and actually talk.
I'll whack
on. To do my perfect.
I was trying to do a tweet, but
it's all good. I'm happy to jump in with my chart. So I've got an idea that I'm looking at on GU. It'll give you guys a couple of minutes to sort things on the back end. If I just pull up my chart and I'll show you this.
You can click it, can't you, Rich, or do I have to do it?
No, I've got no controls on this.
I'm gonna have to give you some controls.
Careful. Be careful with that. I've got this beautiful little yellow line. I hope it's yellow. On the chart at the moment, I'm looking at this higher time frame level. If we jump into the hourly, simple supply and demand stuff. So I'm anticipating the market is going to run into this high here. Now, what I'm doing is I'm positioning myself in a way that we're looking for a head and shoulders pattern. So if we look to the left, we can see these beautiful two highs. The market continues higher, and this was the turning point in the market. Now the market is broken down under this structure point on the hourly chart. It's shown me that sellers have clearly driven price lower. Sellers have taken control of price, what I call a change of character. I'm sure many other traders call it a lot of other things. So what is left behind is these two highs and potentially this head. Now, we've all seen the head and shoulders pattern. We've all spoken about that. We've all forecasted it. What I like to do is get ahead of that head and shoulders pattern. So I'm looking for the market to start returning back up to the drive, which is this low that took out these highs to the left. Now, I think this is called a breaker block. I have my own understanding of it, but for a very, very simple kind of simplicity, we're looking at this as being either an order block or a breaker block. So this area up here becomes a huge zone that I think when the market returns to, it's going to have a hard time getting through it. So typically with stuff like this, I'm looking for a break and a retest. Market's broken lower. Doesn't matter how long it takes to come back up. In my mind, sellers took control of the market up here, and the market was driven up potentially to feel more selling interest. So when the market comes back, I'd be looking for the market to sell in this price point. Now, the yellow line I've got, that's the price point I want to sell at. So I think Victor talks about this wonderfully, and it's a quasi, like where you've got a slightly higher or a lower left shoulder to the right shoulder. So if we look across to the right, we can see that the market, if I drag this box across all the way, we can see if I line it up to this wick here, market has come back up, and it's no coincidence that these price points will become reoccurring within the way that price moves. Doesn't mean to say it happens all the time. But on this occasion, we can see the market come back up, touched into this, pushed up higher, took liquidity from this high, came, matched this left shoulder from here, and then finally pushed one last time. We've already taken the liquidity from above this wick. And I think my kind of forecast with this, if I zoom in slightly, is that the market is still not going to be able to push through this in a straight line. So I'm trying to refine this entry ever so slightly to something a little bit more like this, and it's where we get this last kind of breath from the buyers to drive price up, and then the market ultimately sells down, and we have the first lower high printed to confirm. So I've got this yellow line on here just to give me a little bit of a heads up that price is getting close to it, and I'm going to be ever so cautious. We've got news printing in about 2 minutes from now. In a normal trading day with the markets pushing up here, normally I would be interested in putting a sell limit and selling in this area where price has been in the past. Considering we've got news, the market can do absolutely anything. If it wicks this level, which I've seen happen many times before, and sells off, I'm going to put it down to more luck than skill. Typically, I don't want to take orders around the release of high news impact events. I can't manage risk, and if my stop loss is slipped, I'm going to be giving up a little bit more than I wanted to risk on that trade. First and foremost, I'm interested in being a good risk manager and showing the 5%ers that I trade responsibly on my account. So that's the trade idea. That's what I'm looking for anyway.
Let's buzz in. Let's have a look and see what's going on, man. I tell you what, we got 2 minutes before news. Let's have a look and see what's happening. I wonder if we're going to get a TP or we're going to just end up getting the stop loss, because I've just put all the stop losses now below that flag pattern or that consolidation, whatever you want to call it, and the TPs are just above there. So
right, guys, we got OT trader in the background wanting to join us. Can you let us know in the comments if you guys want me to add him on right now? Let us know in the comments.
We want to see
and
W's in the chat before we get him in. And obviously we're going to have to do the intro, which is we're going to have to stop the music for 2 minutes just for this intro. I don't know if anybody can actually hear that.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Nice. All right, welcome Tom, the OTE trader. So I had an interview with this guy the other day, and he's a funded trader with the 5ers, scaled his account, had multiple payouts, very, very successful trader. And he trades ICT concepts, and not very surprising. We have a lot of profitable traders with the 5ers trading ICT concepts. Very, very interesting to see what he has for us here today.
Yeah, how's it going, man?
Thank you for having me, guys.
Where are you from, Tom?
I'm from the Netherlands, so from Europe. And yeah, thanks for having me over. Really appreciate it.
Wicked, man.
No worries, man.
We got so, we have a lot of ICT traders, and we always talk about how ICT is this and ICT is that. But do you know the majority of traders that I actually speak to that make make good profits are actually ICT traders, the majority, which is quite interesting. So there must be something to it. So
yeah, I think
how you got into trading.
How I got into trading. Oh boy, man! When I was, it was back in 2019. I was working as a head chef in a restaurant, and I hired a new guy, and he said, if you want to make some extra money, you gotta look at the stock market and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that sounds interesting, because I don't want to work in the kitchen my whole life. So is that maybe you can start with Forex. It's a little bit more volatile or a little bit more high leverage, and you can get the money quicker, you know. So I did
love
some
that.
yeah, I did some research, you know, babypips.com, and then I passed all the exams. So I was like, man, this is gonna be easy. And then I started to lose money year 1, year 2, and then year 3 I discovered ICT, then studied, and then I think within 1 year I already went from losing to break even to making money, and then it just went up from there. And we keep refining the skills, obviously. But to touch on that, what you said, that there are a lot of ICT traders that make money, I think it's about the mechanical approach that style offers, because it is if this happens, then you do that, and then if that happens, you do this. So there should never be an emotional connection to whatever you're trading.
So you feel people not having that discretionary type of trading style is much better, maybe for them just to execute. Is that kind of the gist that you're going for?
Yeah, I think it's because I used to be a breakout trader, which is the worst form of trading, in my opinion, because you're trading with the literal emotions of what the markets are doing, and we all know the markets are designed to mess you up when you put in emotions. So yeah, I definitely think having a mechanical approach is better to keep your discipline as well, because you literally see what needs to happen, and if it doesn't happen, then you need to stay out. The only thing that can cause you to lose is not following the plan, like always. So
Do you want to pop up a chart and show us maybe a couple of your favorite concepts and stuff that you may be able to give a little bit of value to somebody that is thinking about ICT, but they're not going into it because they're a little bit skeptical? Jonathan.
No, I'm not. I'm not like I'm not anymore. Like I'm definitely starting to think that ICT is definitely legit. Like after doing all these trader interviews, and like everyone, like every single one to this date trades ICT, and I'm like, again, really? You're scaling your account, you get ICT like every time. So definitely not very skeptical anymore.
No, but I get what you mean, because I was skeptical as well before I started ICT concept. I heard about it, and I was like, this is way too complicated. He's just making it extra complicated so it sounds fancy, and then people will try to buy the mentorship or something, you know. So I was already like how do you know, prejudice about it. So but if you really put in the time and you really study the concepts, you will see this kind of stuff happening. I can give maybe a little example of what we did in a live stream a couple of was last week Friday, I think. We got a reversal. Let me check it out. First of all, it was on the 5-minute. We were tape reading that. So when we tape read, we read what the candlesticks are doing, where they're closing, and all that kind of stuff. I think was it Friday? I think it was somewhere over here. Let me check quickly before I forget the date. It was during New York session as well.
I just posted a poll in the YouTube chat asking if you have traded or if you're trading ICT concepts. So feel free to put a yes or no.
That's going to be interesting. ICT isn't profitable, but the OTE is the best teacher of ICT. Wow, you got some fans. You got some fans in there.
If you guys want to follow him, you have all the social in the all the social links to Tom, to the OTA trader in the description, and you also have a community together with another big ICT trader.
I think everybody knows the MMXM trader on Twitter who trades ICT. So I have a private Discord, obviously, with him. He used to come to me when he was developing, and he's a monster of a trader right now. Obviously, he provides a lot of free value to the community as well. He put out multiple models. The most recent one is called the X model, and pretty much everybody in the ICT community right now uses that one. And if they're not using it, it's looking similar. So if there's ICT traders, obviously in the chat right now, we all know we're looking for a previous daily high or previous daily low rate, and we need the SMT. We need the 15-minute structure shift, and then we enter off the change in the state of delivery. And that's basically the model. Sounds very simple. We take the previous daily candle, 50%. of that candle, if there's a 1 hour fair value gap resting at that 50% level, that is what we target. That is the draw on liquidity. So it's a pretty simple approach, and the simpler the model, the better as well, in my opinion. I'm just checking my Discord. When did I do this tape read? Because it's a perfect example of what I do during the live stream. Wait,
I think you said.
Yeah, go ahead.
While you look at that, I have a question. You said that you think that why a lot of people like ICT is because it's a very systematic approach. It has very clear rules, and I think that's one of the biggest reason. And when we had the interview, you said that it doesn't really matter, what system you trade, as long as you trade a system that fits your personality. And I think why a lot of people like ICT is because the world of trading, you go into YouTube, there's just a lot of information out there. And what ICT has managed to do is he managed to take that information and package it in a way and create these models where it's like very clear rule-based trading strategies. And I think that's what a lot of people like. They like being told what to do, like do this. If this candle closes like this, you're just going to sell. And it's easy to follow. Like some people, they create their own system, and some people, they follow other system. I think ICT is a system where it's easy to follow.
Yeah, I agree, because there are a lot of different techniques you can use with ICT. However, it is up to you to put it together, so you need to tailor your own personal style. And I think that's with every model. Also, just the regular support and resistance. Maybe you have an extra confluence with a Fibonacci, or maybe you're using trend lines or something. If it's tailored to your personal preference and you feel comfortable using these concepts, same with ICT. If you don't want to use a fair value gap, obviously that's for me one of the most important PD arrays. But if you do not want to use, let's say, an order block for an entry, you can disregard it completely. But make sure you have your toolbox, so put the tools in there which you are very familiar with. You can use that properly and just build it to your personal style. If you are a scalper, you probably have not a lot of patience, I would say, because you want to be in and out within 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. If you're a day trader, you have a little bit more patience, so you can trade the 15 or the 1 hour time frame. And obviously, if you're swing trading, you can trade a long period of time, and then use 4 hour levels, 1 hour levels, daily, weekly draw on liquidity. So yeah, it just depends on your personality. I definitely agree with that one.
I think
I can't remember when I did it. I'm gonna ask my
I have a
Discord
question
because...
though. Like I something that I know, like I'm getting a lot of questions when we're having our like regular live streams and we're not talking about ICT, but sometimes we have a lot of people coming in asking what a fair value gap is. Maybe you can break that down. What is a fair value gap, and how do you identify that on the chart?
So you need 3 candles before you have a fair value gap. So over here we've got candle number 1, right? And then candle number 2 needs to be leaving an open gap between those 3 candles. So you have candle number 1, candle number 3, and candle number 1, 2, 3. Sorry, you can count. And then you have a gap between candle number 1 and 3. So then in the second candle there is a gap. So you can outline that with a line or a box, whatever you like, right? And then we have a fair value gap over here. Now, fair value gaps, you can use them on with different styles. You can use them actually as support and resistance as well. Most of the time, we wait for a fair value gap to show us willingness that the market is going one-sided. So the displacement that happens and it leaves a fair value gap behind, that's something we can use to take a trade from. Just like as an order block is formed. For example, we've got an order block over here, right? There's two up close candles here. We can consider that a order block. And an order block is only high probability if it takes out buy stops or sell stops before. So you can see a swing high is here, and then these 2 candles run the liquidity above this swing high here, and then it breaks down lower. So now this set of up close candles is where the accumulation of those buy stops happen. So buyers get trapped and they want to push those buy stops back down into the sell stops, which are resting below an old low. Right, so they're pairing up those buy stops with the sell stops. So they're taking out both sides of the market. and that is an order block. And this fair value gap, let's say you want to be a buyer, but this fair value gap is in the way. We can actually use this fair value gap and wait for candles to close above it, then start to build a little bit of a liquidity before this fair value gap, because if you have a little bit of liquidity resting before a point of interest, it makes it higher probability once it taps into that area that it will move away. And that has to do again with that liquidity what's resting up here, the buy stops. There are sell stops resting if there's liquidity engineered just before that point of interest, and then I want to couple it up with the buy stops that they're engineering above us. So I would always wait, if you have a point of interest, to be have some engineered liquidity before it, and that makes it higher probability to take a trade from that specific POI.
When you say engineered liquidity, you're talking about just accumulation, just like a range, basically. Yeah.
Could be an accumulation. Yeah. Could also be just a swing high or a swing low just before for that fair value gap. I like to use with premium and discount, so I only want to sell in premium and I only want to buy in discount of the range. So we can use the GAN box for that. You can make a nice little color. I use the red area for premium for sells and the green one for buys. So let's say we've got this range over here. We have a swing high and a swing low. So if we have this one, now we have a range which we can trade. Now we engineer, right? We engineer a short-term high up here, so swing high, just around equilibrium of the range. So equilibrium is the 50% level. Sorry if I'm throwing around some weird terms, but yeah, it's just the 50% of the range. So that's everything above it is premium. And you can actually see they run this high again to get into that fair value gap, which is resting above it. And then they trade it down lower. So I always love to see this if that's what we call then engineered liquidity, just before that POI where you want to sell from. And the same thing goes if you want to buy, you do it vice versa. So yeah.
And you're taking your trades off the 1 hour? You using in market orders? You're using limit orders, or
depends. I trade 1 hour and 4 hour levels, but I go into the 15-minute to see if I can get a change in the state of delivery, which means that it flips order flow. So if we're in a bullish order flow, we are on buy side of the curve. Little example could be over here. We have us in buy side of the curve over here, right? We're continuously making higher lows, so it's never breaking below it. And we use those bearish candles as a support level to push price higher. Now, when we know that down close candles are pushing price higher once they tap back into it, we know these are areas that should stay respected. Now, once they get violated, in my opinion, we're disrespecting the buy side of the curve. So now we can start looking for those PD rays to form on the sell side of the curve. So if we're going into sell side of the curve, we want to see up close candles form, and then we can use those to short from. Now, let's say over here we have a down close candle. We should have pushed higher from this area. Obviously, time of the day and all that stuff is also important, because it can't just keep pushing up every hour. It will eventually do a retracement or even a reversal. But over here, I can see we're disrespecting a down close candle, which should not occur. We could even take this one, because this one is the lowest one in the recent range, right? Because this is where the swing low last was formed. So I would typically take this one. If we close below it with the bodies of the candle, not the wicks, just the body needs to close below it. And then we have a change in the state of delivery over here. And then we have, this is a high probability order block then. Never return back into it. That is possible. But for me, that indicates we're going into a sell side of the curve.
We have a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people in the comments talking about discounts and premium. Maybe we can describe what you mean by that. I think what you mean is you're using the 50% fib, right, or use the middle line, and then you anything above the 50 is the premium, or is that discount? Well, that's premium, right?
Now above is premium, yeah. So if we wanna sell, then we wanna be above that 0.5 line. So let's say if I take a range over here, I think I can take a silver example. We took a silver sell like 2 weeks ago. That was massive. It was over
everybody
here.
Trading silver, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
all of a sudden,
everyone trading silver.
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, this is basically I shorted silver from here. Let me see if I take a short. I took a short here, stop above the high, and then I took profit down here. So this was a 4R. I think I went in a little bit lower, by the way, but it was in premium. That's the most important part, and you can see how deep it ran afterwards. But I closed this trade because it was my scale up. So otherwise I would have let it run a little bit more. But I think securing certain goals or milestones is is better than trying to greed for more profits. But if we take this range over here, where I sold from, we can actually take this low, and then up until this high. This is our premium in the red zone, and then we have discount in the. Let me remove this one so we can see it more clearly. And I take the fib. You can do the same thing, and then you have the 0.5 line. Right, and everything above it, that's where you can sell. And I always say precision is always nice to have, that you have the most precise entry, and sniper entries are fun, but accuracy is way more important in the long run. So if you are accurate in the direction of the market, it doesn't really matter where you enter within that premium of the range. Let's say I entered over here like this, and then I had my stop like over here. But I also could have entered over here. That is true. But let's say it runs down from here already. Then if I waited for this area, I would have missed it, So I'd rather get in at the area where it will sell off from technically, and it should not disrespect the high, which is resting up here. But now we're using those fair value gaps and stuff where you can enter, right? I entered just before it because of the silver spread and everything. But I could have entered here during the New York session, and then I would have had a little bit of a tighter stop loss and a better risk to reward. But eventually, it's about where the price delivers, right? Because if I enter here or here, they both should not get over here. Otherwise, I will still lose the trade. Doesn't matter if I get in down here or up here.
And you're trading with hard stops and things like that in place.
Yeah, I typically only move my stop loss when I see certain candles get disrespected, and that should not return back into where I had my original stop loss. So let's say we form an order block over here, then we start to break below this candles over here, and this now becomes a breaker block, right? So over here we have a breaker. Now if price starts to go below the range, now we have a new range, because if you take sell side from the previous range, and there's also a buy side rate within that range, there you are creating a new range. So let's say, get the fib again. This should be the new range if we formed a swing low here, but we did not. It just kept melting. But let's say it formed a swing low here. Now this breaker is in premium, so now you can sell that breaker again if you didn't manage to get in over here. And we know this high should not get violated. Why? Because we're already creating a new range. So let's say I got in. Let's say I got in on over in this area, and even if I got in over here, I could go break even, because there's a breaker here which should not get violated. Because breaker is, in my opinion, the strongest PD array out of the PD array matrix. So now I can go break even. So that's kind of a rule set I have for when to go for when to put my stop loss at break even.
If I was to give you just say, you can only take one trade, that's it for the rest of your life. What is that bread and butter trade that you will just take no matter what?
Oh shit. Yeah. I am kind of a dynamic trader, so I see what the candles are doing, but I definitely would use the unicorn model. It's called. It's ICT. Yeah,
it's a nice
name.
Names, man.
Yeah, it's got some funky names. He also, all the respect to ICT Inner Circle Trader. I bless him for my whole life, but he has some funky names and funky techniques sometimes that are way too complicated. But the unicorn is basically you have this dealing range, which I just outlined. If there's a breaker formed with a fair value gap, you enter on that fair value gap and the breaker. That is called the unicorn setup, and that is a very, very powerful setup if you have the right context in where price is going. It almost never fails, because it's not 100%, of course, but I would say 80+% if you only take unicorn. And I have some members of mine who only trade unicorn setups, and if they just have to draw right, they know where the market is expanding this certain day, they won't lose much. They will keep getting winners time and time again. So I would say unicorn setup probably is the best one.
Do you size up when you have that kind of trade setup, or do you keep the same kind of risk management, even though that that this is the the creme de la, this is the unicorn of the unicorns?
Yeah. I do try. I'd always try to pyramid because I love to go in have risk first when my POIs hit. What we should do when we're trading is when the POI gets hit, we want to have a confirmation on the lower time frame. So let's say I can use silver as such a good example because this was like textbook. Over here we have let's say this one. This is the POI. This is the order block, which is resting over here. What you want to do typically is I go in 0.5% on the POI because I know this high technically should not get violated, so I can already get in with a smaller size position. But if you're wrong about the direction, you will get taken out. It doesn't matter if you think it will not go there, So that's why I like to do have risk first, and then I go into the 15-minute time frame. If I can get back to wherever I was, over here. What you typically want to do is wait for some short-term high to get rated and then enter into that POI. And then I want to see a closure below an up close candle. So that indicates we're having a change in the state of delivery. And also when that happens, I need to see down close candles. Those bearish candles also get disrespected. So close below. And then you wait for price to come back into premium because you will form a short-term range. And in this occasion, it never came back. So you will miss the trade. That's why 0.5% in the POI, I almost never miss the bigger move because I have that 0.5% in already or have risk. And then once it returns back into premium and forms a new range, I will enter there. But I will still put my stop loss above the original POI because there is still a chance it will run this high for whatever reason. That could be a cracking correlation between two markets. So if we're trading silver, we could have gold, and gold does not run out this high, but silver does run out this high. That's what we call SMT with ICT concepts. That can still occur. That's why I always put my stop loss still on the POI I'm using.
SMT is what's SMT?
It's the abbreviation is for smart money technique or smart money tool. So what ICT teaches is that they will crack the market, so the correlation between two assets. So they will let one asset run the high, but the other one does not run the high. Now we have the cracking correlation, which is SMT. And then we want to have the markets go back in sync again. And then we know that high that just formed is a strong high, so to say.
I gotta say, it seems there is a lot of tools, doesn't it? It seems like there's a lot. Wow. So how many? So let's say, obviously, when you were a chef and your friend was telling you, you can leverage up on Forex and you can make millions of dollars, and then obviously you went through the process. When you got to ICT, you must have had a structure of how you were learning, or you must have done some homework, some back testing, some data gathering.
Yeah.
To kind of give you this confidence, because I listen to you and I look at the way that you're talking about it, and you explain it in a way that you've got conviction in what you're talking about. So obviously, because you've seen this happen a lot. So tell me how you built up that conviction and how somebody out there can actually start doing the same.
So if you're a beginning trader, you do 100% need to journal. 100%. That is the most important part in developing early on, because how are you gonna review all that you learned if you did not write it down or put it in a journal, right? Just as if you go to school, you make your homework, the teachers review your homework, they'll outline what was wrong and what was good. So now you have an indication, okay, I need to put more emphasis on focusing on this to improve. And the same thing is with journaling. Maybe a lot of times you see your setup form, but you're disregarding premium and discount every time you take a loss. So every time you see like a setup form, a fair value gap where you want to enter from, but every time that fair value gap is in discount of the range when you want to sell it. So you're selling in a discount, which we should not do. You should sell in a premium. And now you can identify, okay, I'm selling in a discount every time. Let me just be real disciplined about it and then only focus on selling in premium. And you will see your win rate increase. So that is definitely something you need to do. And I gotta say, ICT concepts can be very complicated, and you need to study a long time. You will not get profitable within 2-3 months. It's very hard to do unless you have like a massive brain, and you have solid like diamond hands, and everything is you're just built for trading. But it would take, I would say, at least a year minimum. You will need to study, and really just start off with the demo. Log all the trades, journal all your trades, but give it a year at the minimum, and you will see consistency definitely after a year. And you will see, and what also is important, you need to show up every day. So you need to watch price every day, even if it's low probability conditions, like it starts to range something. But you still need to see what does the market do when it ranges. You can identify it before it happens if you watch it a lot. So I would say, yeah, putting in the time, journaling, and don't rush the process. Definitely don't rush it, because you will set yourself back. I think that's the most important. Yeah.
What about
Well
you,
said,
Rich
Don.
or Jonathan? You got a question? Anything?
No, not really. Maybe maybe if you have anything. I mean, I do have a lot of questions, but I'm trying to manage the chat, so you can caught me off guard there. Is there anything you're watching like right at this very moment that we got a lot going on with news events and everything right now? How do you take that into consideration? With a week like this one, especially tomorrow, we got elections in the UK, and we have this massive news all week. How do you take that into consideration? And also, I want you to talk a little bit about your risk management. How many percent per trader you're risking? How do you calculate that? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Because it's also first the week of the month, and it's NFP week, right? All these high impact news releases. I tend to be very conservative in the first week of the month, because the monthly candle needs to develop. Where are we going to go? Typically, the monthly candle will manipulate one way first and then distribute where it wants to go later during the month, because obviously it needs to grab liquidity from either a higher place or liquidity from a lower place to push it up higher or lower. So I tend to skip out or take a few trades, maybe one, maybe two, during these types of weeks. And if there's like so many news releases like today, I will poke the market once or twice to see maybe if there's something, but I keep it low risk. And today they actually have, I think, 4 news releases, high impact. So they have PMI, they have unemployment claims, they have ADP, and then later we at 2 p.m. EST we also have FOMC meeting minutes.
Yeah.
So they have all, and that's probably because tomorrow's July 4th. There's a bank holiday, so they probably want to push all these news releases in one day, and then again take a long weekend or something. But yeah, definitely stay conservative. I tend to not trade anymore after Wednesday during NFP week, because this week obviously we have a bank holiday, so I'm not gonna trade that. And because I think also the stock market is closed, so that it's just
Tomorrow.
Yeah, so less liquidity, less volatility, and Friday is NFP, so I skip out on that. But you can trade after NFP, in my opinion, but before NFP, I would just stay out. And for risk management, I would say you should approach a live account, a challenge account, and a funded account differently. And with live account, I mean just a regular broker like IC Markets or something. And when you do a challenge, in my opinion, you should stick with 1%. If you go into drawdown, go back to 0.5% until you're back at break even or back at your starting balance. And when you're up like 2, 3, 4%, you can risk 2% on a trade. I don't think that's a bad idea, because if you have a quality setup, that 2% will increase your or decrease the time you will finish off the challenge. Obviously, I would say take at least 1 or 2 weeks to finish off a challenge. Don't try to push it in one day. Take a win for the day, end on a good feeling, and you go into the next day positively, right? And then on phase 2, I would say do the same. If you're risking 1%, you bank 2%, and then the next trade just take 2%, and then you only need the 1 to 2 again, just like the 1% you put on earlier, and then you're finished. So I did the same with an FTMO challenge. I was on phase 2. I put 2% on an EU trade. I think it was actually before NFP as well, but I was up already like 15 or 20 pips, and NFP just ramped towards my take profit because I was right on where the market was going, and I had a high conviction it would go there anyway. And when you have a funded account, don't go. I would say the first thing you need to do is risk 0.5%, bank whatever the rule set is of the prop firm, and get that investment back, right? So if you paid for a 100K account, you get reimbursed after you take your first profit split. Not with all prop firms, but with most prop firms they do that. So secure that first, and you only make like 1 or 2%. That's enough, and then get your investment back, and then go again. So yeah, that's basically how I approach.
I'm gonna add Victor because Victor's in, but I have another question for you. So I'm gonna try this. We'll see how it goes with the new layouts and everything. Alex, don't click anything, okay? Let me try this, okay?
Absolutely awful.
Let me try this.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
so
was
we got
great.
that one. No, wait. Oh, look at that!
Wow,
Worked out.
nice.
So,
How's
wow, a lot of
everyone
people in here.
doing?
What's up, Victor? How's it going?
Can
I'm
you
gonna
guys
have
hear
to
me?
fix this. This is awful. I'm gonna fix it. You guys talk, and I'm gonna fix this because this layout
Okay,
is.
try.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear
Look
me?
at
How's
look
my
at Alex
audio?
doing his magic now in the background.
Victor, we can hear you. Don't worry. We
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Welcome, Victor. Welcome. How's it
Congratulations,
going?
everyone.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
happy
thank you.
40K.
Thank you. 40K, yeah. Okay, Tom, we're on the on this subject. You have a funded account, and you recently scaled it to. You have a high stakes account, right?
Yeah,
So
correct.
you recently scaled it to 125K.
Yep.
So for people asking, because we talked a little bit about risk and the different rules for different types of. What's Alex? What's going on? Where's the
Well,
chart?
continue talking. We're dealing with it. We're dealing with the situation. Okay.
Okay, perfect. No, so yeah, so for you, those of you wondering, he has a high stakes account for 125K. Also, I want to say that we're almost at 1,000 viewers, concurrent viewers right now, which is quite high. So if we can get that to, you know what, if
10,000. We want 10,000 viewers, and then everyone's getting a giveaway.
as soon as we get 1,000 views, I'm gonna give away one account. I'm gonna give away a 100K account to one viewer that I think has been providing the live stream with good engagement, good quality, good value. So it's not going to be randomly picked. I'm going to choose one that I can't see him in the chat right now, though. I got one that I'm thinking of, and it seems like I can't find him. But he's always in almost all day. Well, I see one because we talked about this in the beginning. Like, we want to give away a couple of like big accounts to selected people that we think have really provided value to these live streams, and I do see one of them. But it's not my favorite pick though. Should I pick it? Let's just go with that one.
You're making a dog's dinner. It is just pick the person.
Yeah, but I'm gonna do it when we get 1K views. When we get 1K viewers, I'll pick him.
Go for it.
It starts with an H. Oh, I see another one as well. Nice. Okay, but they're all here. I think they might all be here. Victor, you're trading order blocks, but you're not an ICT trader. Tom is an ICT trader, and he trades order blocks. Okay, there you go. Nice to meet each other. Talk about order blocks.
Now we need to fight, or what?
No, let's head over to the UFC section of this live stream.
That would be a pretty good segment though, if we can just get like
that would
two
be
traders
nice
just to fight it out. But
yeah,
I'm
like
ready to get
fight
all up,
night. I don't think the management is going to be okay with that though. But we'll do it on Red Channel.
No, I think the big thing is what I see with a lot of traders that are trading ICT, and this is coming from, I've done a lot of interviews and we do see traders doing really well. But from what I understand from you, you're quite meticulous in the way that you're dealing with your risk, and especially when you're going into news and taking time away from trading. Because I do see people making a good amount of money, but then soon as they withdraw, they blow it. And for me, that is just they don't do what they did in the evaluation on the funded account, and it is kind of heartbreaking. But give the advice to that person that he's blowing those accounts, because they obviously got skill, like they've got skill, but it's difficult obviously for them to be consistent. And I don't know if you've got a tip for the traders in your room, how they get that consistency going forward. Super long-winded. That was for you, OT.
For me, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was for you.
Yeah, because Victor came in, so maybe okay, but I understand. Yeah, this is the thing, because you're seeing the money, right? So now you see it's real, and a different type of emotion is coming in. So what happens then is, let's say you withdraw 3K or something, and it can be a lot for somebody who maybe lives in a third world country or something, and now they're like, okay, I can make so much money, like I just made 4 months of salary or something, let me just put some extra on the trade, and then I'm rich, that types of emotions, they come into play. What makes it for me, it is not caring about what is on the P&L, but sticking with the plan. And if you have trouble with seeing what is on the P&L, you're risking too much money. So I would advise for those who blow a funded account, you are putting on too much size, because you're getting emotional about your P&L, which is over here. So even if you have a 100K account, just risk 200. It's 0.2% is not a lot, but if you are comfortable with that number, just go with that number. It's even better if you use that number, in my opinion, if you don't need a lot of money, because that account will stay preserved for a very long time. And you have to take so many losses before you hit your max drawdown if you use 0.2%. So definitely, those people who blow a funded account right after they got a withdrawal, they are rushing, and they're just gambling, in my opinion. And yeah, how do you tackle that? Stop being an addict. Yeah, it's hard to be an addict.
Answer.
Yeah, I don't want to make the comparison between a drug addict and a gambler, but it's the same sort of thing. They all want that rush. They all want to get that dopamine, so it's just different. Yeah,
guys, I want to throw a question out to everyone on here. So what, to someone that just got funded, like you just passed an evaluation, what do you guys think is the best approach? Should they just continue right away with what they're doing, or do you think it's better to take a break and take a step back, take a break, and reevaluate, and kind of like calm down before you continue? Maybe Rich, you could talk a little bit about that, because I do know that you also have a funded account with the 5ers, and that you've been funded for quite a long time, so you do have a lot of experience with this.
Yeah, sure. First funded account I got was 4 years ago. So much like OTE trader, I was 2 years unprofitable. I started to become a little bit consistent in the third year. I got funded probably a little bit too early. I was risking a little bit more than I should have been. I got funded and I went to spaghetti. I literally got that account. I got 3 payouts. Every single payout I just got worse and worse and worse. And effectively what was happening was my objectivity towards the price action was breaking down. My ability to look at the chart and say, hey, this is a technical setup. All I was thinking about was the money. And I just stopped looking at the charts. I started adding to losers randomly, because I was just trying to average a profit out of every trade. And I kept that account. It's the first account I ever got, first funded account. I kept that account for 14 months. And effectively, after 14 months, I hit the maximum drawdown. And that account was just a horrible excuse to just say I'm a funded trader. Did it teach me anything about me? No. I was compromised by the P&L. So I would say for anyone who's coming into trading and you get that first milestone, you get funded, because I think this is a big goal of a lot of traders. They want that status. They want the certificate. They want to say, hey, I'm a funded trader. Becoming a funded trader is a small milestone. Keeping that funding, I think, is where you prove that you are refined by the good stuff when it comes to trading. Reducing my risk and looking at the charts and asking myself this question every day: is this technically a valid setup? That would have kept me funded. That would have kept me on the right side of profitability, and I wouldn't have cared about the money. The money should have been a byproduct of what I was doing. The problem was what I was doing started to become the byproduct of the money, and I was chasing it. And I got lucky for a little while, and then I lost the funding account. So if you're new into trading, just focus on the process. And I love what OTA Trader said: consistency. Turn up every single day. It's how you build a skill set. Years and years and years after this, I went through over 100 hours of ICT concepts, and I thought, it doesn't make sense. Why does he talk so slow? Maybe I can watch this on ×2 speed, and I'll get it quicker, and I'll learn it quicker. And I went through over 100 hours, and I took notes on it. I journaled around it, and it just didn't quite sink in. And I spoke to a friend about it, and the friend was profitable. He was a funded trader, 600,000 funding with the company he was trading with at the time. And every time I would talk about, hey, I've found this crazy new ICT concept, spaghetti soup, and he would be like, right, okay. And he just used to sigh every time. And I said, what is it about this thing that you just don't? He said, you understand what ICT is? And he'd been trading a long time. I said, no, I don't get it. He said, ICT is teaching you about liquidity. I was like, yeah, I get that. He said, but do you understand how liquidity is paired, buyers with sellers? And he filled in these couple of tiny blanks, and everything I'd watched for over 100 hours on ICT just clicked. And I was like, why couldn't I get that from the videos? And I read in one of the comments on ICT's videos once that he deliberately teaches in a trading style that he wants his students to turn up and put in the work. He doesn't make it so super obvious that you can just go, oh yeah, that's easy. Anyone can do that. So if you're new into trading, if you're new into ICT concepts, it is a grind, and you do have to turn up. You consistently have to keep building on that skill set every single day. And the byproduct should be you get funded, not the other way around.
Wait a minute, Rich. You're trading ICT as well?
No, is it?
I trade. Okay, so I trade.
Get him out right now.
No, I trade supply and demand. It is the simplest way that I understood price action. However,
yeah,
I think the closest concept to it would be I'm merging liquidity in supply and demand. Do I take supply and demand blindly? No. I'm always looking for that handover, that change of character, that inducement. I'm always looking for that breaker block, and that qualifies a high quality supply and demand. We could call it 100 different things. To me, it's very, very simply supply and demand, just because it's easier to explain if I keep it that way.
So with your, I take it you've got students, you've got, is it students or just people in your Discord, just community? What have you got? You've got students?
Yeah, I got a lot of students. I used to do one-on-ones as well, but I don't feel like it's worth my time anymore. So I just keep it with a community. So we have a private Discord where we do analysis beforehand and show proof of concept. So what we analyze beforehand actually works out using the concepts, and that's the only way you should have a mentor, that he can explain to you what happens before it happens and actually use those concepts accurately. If you have a mentor who just does some hindsight posts and uses FX replay button on TradingView, shows how he took a trade or something, and then that's it, never showing you beforehand what happens. That's what I do typically, and will not give them a stop loss, an entry. I'm not a signal service, because I do believe if you can execute on your own, you will build that confidence which is required to trust yourself in the end, because you're not going to stay with me forever. You need to fly away at some point. So you need to I will help you build the framework and the techniques you need, but you need to build the confidence, because you can trade any concept and you can make money if you have most solid psychology and risk management. So it doesn't matter what type of concepts you're trading. Supply, demand, support and resistance, ICT concepts, whatever, Wyckoff, everything, you can make it work if you have a solid psychology and risk management plan. So yeah, I live stream 6 times a week as well. I do Q&A live stream. I do 4 times New York session live stream where I analyze the charts beforehand. I have a little compilation on my Twitter. It's pinned on my Twitter page where you can see how I exactly break down price before it happens, and then it actually develops like I said it will, because of this reason, then this should happen, and so on. And that's what I'm trying to explain before the fact, so I can show them, okay, you need to look at this, now you need to look at that, and if this happens, that invalidates the idea, and if it keeps doing this, then we are on the right side of the market, and that type of stuff, yeah.
I
So
reckon I already know the
talk-
answer to this question that I just want to ask, but it's like your best students to your worst, the ones that do succeed and the ones that don't. There's obviously some attributes that make them better and make them worse. What are those attributes that you can kind of push out there for people that are obviously watching that could start to kind of develop those attributes in themselves?
Yeah, I can already sense whoever is probably not going to make it, because the type of questions people ask sometimes, you can already sniff out they just want to have a signal, so to say, So they're not really there to learn the concepts themselves, but they just want to follow along with someone who is profitable, and they just want to copy sort of the trades that they're taking. So if I see those type of people, I mean, you're welcome to join, but I'm not giving you a stop loss and an entry. I will give you the highest probability range where you can trade from and what area should hold. And then you can think on your own, where should I put my stop loss based on the concepts that we're using? Where should I enter? Like I just said earlier, right? We only sell in premium and we only buy in discount. This type of stuff you will learn. And obviously you need to have a basis. You need to know ICT concepts before you join my community. Otherwise, I'm not going to explain you all the basics. I will explain where to use your correct premium and discount and that kind of stuff, because people tend to have struggles with that. But you definitely need a good, a solid base, So yeah, definitely.
We talked about. We had a meeting the other day, and I talked with Alex and Victor, and I said, maybe this ICT thing, maybe I should try it out, experiment a bit. So
Jonathan ICT. Dun, dun,
we'll
dun.
have to bring you on more times in the future, and you can
Sure.
teach me a little bit ICT, and I'll see because I'm interested. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what am I using, the way I'm trading, and because for example, I only buy at the lower than the 50%. I only sell above the 50%, and around the 0.618 is where I place most of my orders. And the break and retest strategy that I use is I've seen now that it's basically retest of a fair value gap most of the time. So most of the time what you see is when I enter orders is on the 0.618 inside a fair value gap. So I think there's a lot of correlations with the two way of trading. So we'll be really interested to see what if what I'm doing is actually applicable with the ICT concepts as well. I think that would be really cool.
We can definitely just get on a call one time. I know you can just show me whatever you are using as a model, and I can break down what overlaps with what I'm doing. I think a lot of things will be around the same, maybe, because you say you use the Fibonacci and then sell around the 60.8 or something. I mean, that's OTE levels, that's the optimal trade entry levels. So I think a lot of things will overlap. I think a lot of things are also rebranded, repackaged, just you can have supply and demand, and there are order blocks in the supply and demand area. So they can say, yeah, that's the same thing, but it doesn't really matter. In the end, it all depends on psychology and risk management anyway.
So would you be interested in coming on again, and then we'll do it live in a live trading room? We'll break it down here.
Yeah, sure, man. Of course.
Nice. Sounds like an
there you go.
ICT
There you go.
date.
Nice.
It's
we're
ICT and chill. Yeah.
It's quite interesting, because I obviously all of this different language just helps put a person that they're coming to the charts, they can't get the context. And even though a lot of the things that we all do, because we all very different traders, everybody in here actually trades a different way. Actually, me and Jonathan, we kind of trade similar, but there are so many things that overlap. And the thing with ICT, which I do like, is the language helps people with the context of what they're doing. It gives them confidence by using the certain language and the terminology to help them stay focused on what they're looking at, which is super valuable, so you don't get lost. But we're going to do a quick 10-minute break. we're going to let Tom go. So Tom, where can people find you? I've just noticed now you're the OTE trader, which is the optimal trade entry trader. Is that
Yes,
it?
sir. Yeah.
There you go. Wow. Okay. That's what
Nice.
a name.
You
Where can
already
people
know the
find you,
lingo.
mate? Yeah, there you go. Where can people find you, Tom?
First of all, I'm on Telegram mostly active. On Twitter, I'm also there, but both is the OTE Trader, just like that, at the OTE Trader. My Telegram channel is called OTE's Chart Lab. I have around 5.3k subs there, so don't get into any other channel with a different count of subs. That's my channel. Obviously, if you are an ICT trader still struggling, we also provide mentorship. So if you do feel like you need an extra helping hand, you can join our community. But I would say study at your own first. If you're not like studying for more than 6 months, just trust the process and study for the free content on YouTube first. And then if you really need a mentor who will expedite your profitability, it's probably the best Discord there is, because we all predict everything before it happens. Or at least we try to, with high accuracy. So yeah, that's where you can find me. And thanks again for having me on the live stream, by the way.
Fantastic. Well, guys, we're gonna go for 10 minutes break, and then we're coming back and we're gonna start live trading, talk about EU, and maybe we're gonna give a couple of counts to some special members that have been here from the start. So we'll see you in 10, okay?
All right, Alex, just so you know, your microphone is still working while the video is playing. So now everyone heard all your secrets.
Did you not mute it, mate?
No, I didn't mute you. Sorry. Forgot
So
about
the only time that you
Yeah.
actually don't mute me is when you need to mute me, and then when you mute me, it's because you don't need to mute me. God, I'm glad
Look at
to
EU.
have a friend like you.
Look at EU right here. This is such a beautiful retest right here. This is the trade that I closed yesterday for around 5R. I still like that trade, you know, but look at how EU came down, hit that, hit that reload zone, hit the 0.6. I'm gonna have to call this the OTE zone. I don't know.
It was
By the way,
good to have
Tom,
you.
that was good. That was good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, it was wicked
Indeed.
having him on. I'm gonna have to
But I'm definitely gonna.
get him on more often. This EU trade, Rich, you were saying this to me earlier.
Yeah.
You were to us earlier. You were saying it's gonna hit the top of that Monday high, and it's gonna continue. Did you execute on anything? That is the question.
What if?
I've now closed all my shorts. Yeah, not shorts. Sorry, all my longs. GU and EU.
Nice.
I'm fully out now.
You want to break a little bit down for us? What you were
Yeah,
in?
just the same kind of concepts we always use with supply and demand. Just looking at this high, the session that we had for today, watching the market make these multiple legs to the downside. If we just see typically the market make one move to the downside, it doesn't, what I like to think of as hair orders or trap traders, as much as we've spoken about in the past. So when I'll jump down to the 5 minute, it'll be a little bit clearer. So we see this beautiful sell-off, we see a pullback and a leg to the downside. Once we see this kind of price action, it's getting everyone down under this low to sell this breakout. It's rallying all the stops of the buyers, and then the market consolidates, finally pushes to the upside. Once I see the market break close above this, all I'm looking for is the same kind of thing again. So we get this beautiful push up, another pullback, another push up, another pullback, and finally the market starts looking like, hey, this was the break and retest. We're going long. Market comes back, clobbers all of this low, takes out the low, takes out all the early buyers, and then finally decides to deliver price to the upside. Same kind of thing. We can use higher time frame zones, break and retest off this, but I like to look at the narrative and the story as to what's transacting and what's happening between buyers and sellers here. If the market looks like it's lying, then often it's telling the best truths. That's what I found. So I love to see these liquidity grabs. I love to see these multiple structure breaks looking like the market's going to run to a new direction and then failing heavily. They create really, really good retest zones. Much like this zone here, we can now look at this and say if the market pulls back, it's probably bound up so many sellers within this price point, they're going to be scratching for break even to try and cover risk as well. So could be a really good break and continuation to the high side. Again, manage risk in news. I wouldn't want to trade a retest of this level in the news just yet. Head and shoulders pattern works a treat. Works really, really well. Super simple as well.
Mm-hmm. We've all been looking at this kind of break on the higher time frame on EU. It's just picture perfect, isn't it? It's just literally break, retest, continuation on the lower time frames. If you're on there as well, hit the weekly. Had a little bit of a deviation underneath, taking the orders and then back just to take the Monday high. Do you know what? I don't think we have many kind of picture perfect trade setups like we have at the start of this week. So
yeah, I got to say that this week has been giving us one of the cleanest setups in a long time.
Easiest ways to trade. Yeah.
Okay, can we? I want to know something. So this. Okay, Louis, this guy right here.
Louis.
So
we're gonna have
Louis,
to turn the music off.
All right, turn the music off. All right, man. So this 40K celebration live stream giveaway. Ooh, I wanted to say something else, but okay. What we're doing today is three special people from the community, from the that has been with us through these live stream for many weeks, has been active in the comments, been giving this whole experience the what's the word I'm looking for? Just made it valuable.
Nice. Yeah, just having friendly faces turn up every day.
To show appreciation for the community and especially for you, Louis, we're going to give you a 100K account. what account are we going to give? Bootcamp. We're going to give you a 100K bootcamp account completely free.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't worry, I'm going to sort that out for you, mate. So everybody, W in the chat for Louis. We've got a couple of other people that we will be giving out some personal accounts over to them, because they're always here, they're always showing up, they're always giving good value, and we appreciate you as much as anything. So there you go. W's in the chat. And
can I just share my screen quickly? I want to, because we well. Okay, well,
especially
we talked about what happened with the layout here. Okay.
Sorting you out.
Okay, so this GBP CAD trade took this yesterday, I believe. No, Monday. Yesterday. Very, very good looking break and retest. Based on the 4 hour here, very good looking break and retest. To be like 100% perfect, I would like it to come down a little bit lower, maybe close to 4 hour bullish engulfing to enable me to enter on that candle. But having blind orders here on anticipating the retest, this is just a perfect break and retest. Interestingly enough, we have another setup today on another CAD pair, which is Euro CAD. Now, this is not on the 4 hour, but this is a good example of showing you guys how price action is fractal. And the meaning of fractal is basically you have a daily candle. Let's say you have a daily candle. So this is just one candle. Well, within that candle, you have let's say 1 hour downtrend. So if you zoom in, you see, okay, that's not really a 1 hour downtrend. That's a massive move to the downside. But still, you have trends within moves. So one candle, you can have trends and ranges and different types of market structure within one candle, the more you zoom out. And that's the idea of price action being fractal. So a perfect setup here, a perfect break and retest on the 4 hour. We are seeing the same type of break and retest on Euro CAD, but here we see it on the 15 minutes. So here you see the exact same pattern. You have a nice resistance area here, breaking above, price comes down and retest that level. Just that same type of structure. And I think it's just interesting to show this example, because a lot of people think that, I get a question a lot, which time frame is the best time frame? And I don't really think that matters. I think for me, I like looking at the 4 hour because I'm looking for those swing trades. I like waiting for the 4 hour candle. It kind of gives me an opportunity to be patient if I wait for the 4 hour candle to close. But if you're day trading, you can look for the exact same setup, but on the lower time frames. And like Alex said, we had a lot of good setups this week. We had a lot of this break and retest going on this week. Look at silver, the trade that I closed yesterday. Why? I'm not sure, but I did, and now it's just running. And it's the same thing here. You have that break above that range EQ and then retest the range EQ, and it absolutely shoots up. And then on the second move to the downside, you have another break and retest of that level right here. Maybe that's a fair value gap. I don't know. But it's a retest of that level right here as well. So it's just all over the place. You'll just find this break and retest. If you zoom in, you'll find it on the lower time frames as well. Yeah.
Let's put some music back on. But yeah, what was that? That Euro CAD looks long to anything, like super. Euro's just going. Euro against everything is just obviously after the news from France. Yeah. It is just retracing all of that massive move that it had over last week.
Yeah, and I pulled the orders for this trade because of the news we had coming up, and I think that's, now looking at this, you could say that was a bad decision, but we could have even seen a move to the other side. We also had I can't remember what news, but we had CAD major news 1 hour ago around the time of entry, and depending on what the numbers are for the news event, we could see price go either way. So what I'm thinking is, the reason why I removed orders is, if we didn't have any news event coming up, this is a technical setup. But now when you have a news event right at entry, it adds a whole nother risk that is not based on technicals. It's based on fundamentals. And if I have no idea what those fundamentals might be or how it might affect the market, it's better to take a step back, because I obviously haven't tested that in the technical system that I'm trading. That makes sense.
Indeed, it does. Indeed. Victor, you've been very quiet today. What's going
Did you say Victor?
on? Yeah, bro. Just checking up on
Rich, and I'm like, nobody's talking about it.
No, I did not. Did I say Rich? I didn't say Rich. I'm. No, I was just.
No, I think
Who wants to
I
go
didn't
along
get a
with you?
chance to to say since we that I like. I want to say first a few things. The OTE trader, he mentioned some elements very important. One of the things I like a lot, among many things he mentioned, was that it doesn't matter what strategy you have. You have to have consistency. You have to have rules. That's what he meant. That is what he talked about when we get funded and people lose those accounts. It happens because they start focusing on P&L, not on the process. I mean, that is so important. And he mentioned as well how to keep coming to the market, even if it's not as exciting today, even if your setup is not there, keep absorbing price action visually, coming every day. I mean, those things are so important. So I like that. I like him a lot, everything he said. Other than that, yes, Rich, you called the market nicely, man. Very nice. That's reading live on the screen. Very good. I wouldn't expect anything else from you, Rich.
Mate, you're too kind. That's just one trade. That's just one trade. We care about the, what happens over the next 100 trades. That's why we talk about expectancy and batches of trades as well. We were talking about this morning about just any one random trade is just like, it could be luck on its own. But when we start looking at hundreds and hundreds of trades, that's where our edge comes from, right?
But Rich, I've heard a rumor about you.
Oh, God.
About your win rate, about your win rate on the DAX.
Who's been lying to you?
Do you have above 90% win rate on DAX?
I do. Yeah, I have above
that
a 90%.
That is insane.
But
right?
like, let's put a little bit of caveat to that. It's a 91%, so it's only just above 90%.
Oh, it's for 91. All right.
Okay, you're being too modest now, Rich.
It's not above 90. It's 91.
No, it's negative risk to reward. If you're risking 1,000 pips to make a pip, you're going to have an insanely high win rate. Obviously, that's not what I'm doing, but yeah, it's negative risk to reward, so it has to be a higher win rate within that. I was actually teaching that a little bit earlier on today. I was talking through the concept of why it works and how we can frame the DAX and other indexes in a similar kind of manner. Very, very simple stuff. Took me a long time to wrap my mind around Forex markets and liquidity and how I could position myself. The DAX, it's just like we're all going to just run this way. And then when we're done running this way, we're going to run back that way again. And it just was so much easier to build a trading edge on as well. Literally spend a bit of time back testing it. And I'm like, hey, I better forward test this now. And it's been doing well for the last year, I would say.
Yeah, and people in the comments think we're joking about, that was a joke, but it's actually not. But yeah, it's very interesting. We when I was on your live stream yesterday as well, we talked about negative risk reward and how that has just changed the whole game for me. It has changed my whole approach to trading. I no longer look for letting the winners run, because statistically I've seen that most winners don't run. That's just the nature of it. Like, and not only do the most winners don't run, like very, very few amount of entries, trades just run, to that very high risk to reward. But what I've seen is, somewhere between 70 and 80% of the trades hit between half an hour and 1 hour, while maybe 40% will hit that 3 hour. So obviously it's going to balance itself out, but I have always thought that I should have, with the way I'm trading, I should have 40 or 50% win rate. I just have to accept the fact that I'm most likely going to lose more than I'm winning. But looking at my, changing a couple of metrics and changing a couple of things with the take profit strategy, I've noticed that, well, I can make perhaps slightly less profit, but almost double the win rate, which is of course I'll go with the higher win rate. That's to me is logical.
Yep. I was reading a book, the turtle trader book, and they had like a 10% win rate, and I could not imagine that you're a trend trader, and you're taking a few trades, you know, during the year, but you've got a 10% win rate, and you still making money on it. Absolutely insane. But I tell you what, somebody's got to put on crypto at the moment, because if you want to actually hear a joke, the joke is we're in a bull market. Because what is it doing? Seriously, come on.
Listen.
Like,
okay, I'm gonna pull up my screen. And I'll show you we are
ridiculous.
in a bull market. Where is it?
When Lambo? Like, seriously,
okay,
when Lambo?
Alex, you don't need another Lambo.
I'm getting fed up. The only Lambo I've got is one on two wheels.
Okay, so Bitcoin, very simple, very simple for me, right? This is the sell zone. Down here, whenever the MVRVC score enters this area, that's the buy zone. This is the sell zone. We're not even close to the sell zone. However, we are currently trading below the weekly 20 EMA, and we have not traded below the weekly 20 EMA since, in my opinion, this is when the bull market became obvious. The bull market became obvious when we broke above the about 20, I'd say about 30K. So this area right here, that's when, you know, the bull market became quite obvious, and then it doubled in price. So what we're seeing right now is actually weekly. We have a weekly range, but we do also potentially have a weekly double top here, and we're below the weekly 20 EMA. I suspect that we're going to close above. I suspect that we're going to be bouncing here, but if we don't bounce here, then yes, we are possibly seeing a move lower. And the first support area that I'm seeing for Bitcoin is, let's just put that at 52. I think like even numbers, because I'm very bad at math. Just makes it easier for me to understand. So 52K, I think that's like the next level below where I think we're going to be finding support. And if we add the fib here, you'll see that that is probably also where we have a good level. And guess what level that is? That is perfect.
You're on the 50.
It's 0.618. Look at that.
My alts are going to just die. Like,
yeah.
Alts are just going to die. That is it. But
yeah,
okay, so we've got it on Bitcoin.
What level is that?
Can you go on? That's on 50. Victor's like, where am I buying? This is where I'm buying.
Yeah, this is definitely where we're buying Bitcoin. Okay, what do you want to see? Soul?
No, do total 2, please.
Okay, total 2. That's the altcoin market cap, is it?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I think I got the chart here.
Yeah.
Isn't that others?
No.
Oh, total 2.
You
okay.
can total 2. Just type in total 2.
Okay, so
There you
that's
go.
the market cap excluding Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Okay.
Okay, let's go on to the weekly. Oh, see, it doesn't look that bad. And then just maybe why is my particular bags looking so bad? But no, it looks still bullish. No, does anybody else wanna add in? What does that look like?
Yeah.
Well, this looks like a top.
Somebody said alt season.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, this is a double top, right? This is a McDonald's. You know, this is, you know, you break the lows here. This is when you have to go to McDonald's and give in your CV or whatever that's called, your resume.
Yeah.
That's in the world of crypto. This is not a double top. That's the signal to go get a job at McDonald's.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that's start working at McDonald's.
Oh, sorry, I got the signs mixed up.
Yeah,
Dude, that is the problem with my crypto trading. I see M's, I buy more. But no. What about total free?
yeah. Well, you know what? One good thing we could do here. What if we flip the chart? Okay, so you say that this is bullish, then it should be ultra bearish if we flip the chart, which I suspect.
Let's have a look.
No.
Flip the chart.
What's happening? Why can't I do it? Okay.
Oh. Yeah, that looks like it's going bearish.
Yeah, I mean that's a break and retest. Yeah.
that looks. Oh no! Sell your
This-
crypto. Not.
Yeah, this looks like a really good break-in retest, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
Yeah. So that's what I'm worried about. And again, you know, same thing here. Probably gonna, you know, down to this level. So yeah, I think. I mean, we're at support. I don't think we have anything to worry about. If I mean,
We're at support. We're at support
So
on
much backing you
the
have.
on the flipped chart though.
nah, we're
Yeah.
at support on the normal chart.
Okay. Where
This is
Are
the
we?
normal
Where
chart.
where
But
we
are we?
support at the moment? Yeah, we're on a little macro, a little micro range.
This is support, isn't it? I mean, what?
No,
This
it's
is support.
It's support until it's not support. But at the moment, if you like,
That's what I'm saying. This is support.
but we're in macro supply.
Yeah,
There you
well,
go.
it is support. I mean, short term, I see that
Yeah.
we're in a range, right? And it's not clear yet where we're going to, which side we're going to break. And if you look at this, we haven't reached the other side of the range yet. If you look to the left, right? So you could say
Indeedy.
we're still on
This is,
our way.
this is Bitcoin though. Like this is
I know that's where I'm going to, and the step two. Step one
Yeah.
is if you look at the previous chart you were putting on, we haven't reached the other side of the range yet. So you could make a case that we are still on our way to go higher, maybe test those highs yet, which we haven't. And in so much so, you could say it's not bearish in itself, right? We are look at the chart from the left, right? All the way where we came from. We came from below. So we are in a market structure, a bullish market structure, right? So it makes sense that it's not completely bearish. It is bullish, but
Yeah,
but
turn on
the
total
step,
3. Sorry, Victor.
the second one, the second argument, or not argument, the second thing I think is relevant is that as you explained yesterday, I believe, Jonathan, about the correlation or the effect of BTC has on the rest of the market or the altcoins. And that can be worrisome. I mean, if BTC is not going to break out soon, but rather maybe even correct a little bit more, because you think perhaps it might come to 52. That is, what is that? That's a drop of what is that? 20, a little less than 20%, right? From current prices.
I would have.
If that happens, what does that mean for the altcoins?
You nothing. Altcoins is dead. Never coming
Yeah,
back.
well, listen, like a retrace of 30, even 40% in a bull market for Bitcoin is not unheard of. So having a drop like that for Bitcoin is not a massive drop in a bull market. Yeah, it will hurt altcoins, but listen, altcoins are not for investing. Altcoins are for trading, getting quick in and out. So the way I look at the crypto market is you invest in Bitcoin and you trade altcoins, right? Because there's going to be these altcoin windows. Like before we talked about altcoin seasons, but we're never going to get an altcoin season. What we have is this new market where you have like with institutions and everything and the ETFs, we're probably going to have altcoin windows, which is, instead of having altcoin seasons of months of altcoins just running, we'll have a few days or a few weeks of altcoins running based on Bitcoin's movement. So I think altcoins are great to be traded, while Bitcoin should be looked as a long-term investment, in my opinion, and it works with my way of trading. I do have in validation of the Bitcoin position that I'm in is right here. If we break below this area and we start forming daily or even weekly structures below this area, that's where in my opinion the idea of seeing a move up to like this 160k. So you can see here that I have a profit taking area of 160k, which is based on another chart that I can't get it up here on TradingView, but it's basically looking at the log chart. You'll have a line that kind of goes like this, and it's gonna look very pretty, but it kind of looks like this, and we see a deceleration of this, of this overall market. And I think we're going to get like a move up to the high here, which should be around 160. And I actually believe that in the next few years, this is when Bitcoin starts becoming a more mature asset. And instead of seeing this insane trends like this, we're probably going to see it trade more like Forex and have weekly, monthly ranges and things like that. So I think we have one or maybe two bull markets left for Bitcoin, where it's increases 300-400% in price, and then it's just going to start ranging is what I'm thinking. So the idea for me is to look at this and you say dollar cost average strategy, or however you want to enter, and I basically just place the fib tool down to the likeliest lowest area here, and then just fill this whole area with buying, with bids. So let's say you get an average entry. So let's say everything gets filled here, or let's say you just have an average entry of that area right here, and
news in 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it's ISM service, so it should be a big one.
Trap the bears. Trap the bears. That's what we want.
And that GU is
lose everything.
In terms of the ATR, GU is quite extended. It's about 20% above its daily ATR, which is a reflection of higher volatility, but it's already it reached that already, not with the news, but before the news. So it's gonna interesting. What will the news be able to push it even more, which is possible, but is harder because it's already stretched? Or will it be a moment where everyone gets trapped and it goes the other way and traps everyone who is?
I really want to short EU, but I can't right now because of the time. But over all of that data that I was picking up for the last year, I think it was only like 8% or 10% of the time that the weekly level got hit once, or I think it was once. So already been hit once. So I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back down and retests that weekly area. I don't see now it pushing up further right now. You've got loads of divergences on loads of different time frames.
Yeah, but that would be the play. How many traders do you think are thinking this is extended? This will go short, and the banks go.
Like you think the banks are going opposite psychology?
I see that. I see that too in GU and in EU. In terms of the in terms of the weekly range.
Well. Go up.
Damn,
I was just going to say.
There you go. Short it now. No, don't. Well, this is why, guys, we don't trade news. But I do want to put. Just gonna have to wait for 2 minutes to pass. Bitcoin.
That's some good movement.
Oh, GBP CAD is moving higher. Man, there's a lot of interesting moves right here. Let's look at I'm getting a lot of alerts here. Let's say UCCHF is okay. So we have a good move here on UCCHF, a good possible break and retest trade right here. So I'm thinking I want to go long here. We have a good retest of a good level here. Looks like this might possibly be the reload zone as well. Yeah, that's a beautiful retest right there. So let's hope that, I mean, obviously when you have a move like this, when it's such a strong move from the beginning, it's usually it might be as volatile in the other direction. A lot of times you have a news move is the first move is going to be the fake move, and then you retrace. So maybe I won't get an opportunity to enter this one. But I'll wait and see. I'll see. I'm probably gonna wait for the 4-hour candle close here and then judge it based on the 1-hour structure. But I do like this level for a possible long here on USDCHF.
Be careful about fading that. The number come in at 48.8. That's well under forecast by about 4 points even. This is a major miss.
Oh, this is good though. Remember how I said I'm not supposed to be trading, and if I do, you should remind me. Thank you. I'm not supposed to be trading today. Okay, not supposed to be trading. And then again, we got this guy. Man, you guys are awesome. You're listening. Yeah. Okay. And we have another one. Everyone's telling me not to trade. Okay. Nice.
There you go. It's gonna. I reckon it's gonna retrace. I do think it's gonna retrace. Maybe one little push up and then come back down. Are we gonna put our money where our mouth is?
I think it has a good chance of retracing. One of the reasons is not necessarily completely and go the other way, but we will have some kind of movement. This is quite exaggerated, and it's coming at the end of a very big push. Yeah. Yes, exactly. So how many? I mean, that has to be attractive to trap traders. Everyone who was late getting in by FOMO, are vulnerable right now, and that's one thing. But the other thing I wanted to mention is I will show my screen. This is the weekly ATR. It doesn't mean that the dotted line, the yellow dotted line, and before this is the order block on the daily. This gray or brown, I should say, order block. We broke over. We broke out of it and came down to the pip, touch it before the news, and moved the news. And I was going to say we still haven't. Right before the news came out, we haven't reached the weekly ATR yet. And there we go. We had that move in 1 minute. We reached it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't mean it's going to reverse right away. But we are already getting 100% weekly, and it's only Wednesday, right? So it can continue to go, but as it goes up, the probabilities of it keeping going higher gets smaller, and the probability of a retrace gets bigger, right? Not necessarily now, not necessarily today, but that we're getting into stretch territory, which is okay because this is a high volatility week, so you can expect that it goes beyond 100%. So that's why I say it doesn't have to retrace right here. It can continue to go another 20. I mean, this is GU, so it can continue to go another good amount of pips before it starts retracing. But it gets tricky now. It's getting tricky.
I want to see a little bit more of a push up, and then I'm probably gonna short if we got more divergence on the 1 minute. But
Guys,
weekly highs, Wednesday highs are normally the highs for the week. The highest probability day is Wednesday, so wouldn't be surprised if that's what we got. But let's have a look.
Today we're already 150% ATR. That's the daily
Guys,
ATR.
Do you want to stick on the giveaway? Yeah, go on. Tell them about the giveaway.
Are you guys ready for the giveaway link? Let me know in the comments. And
first, how it works, because there's a lot of people that are brand new.
Yes. So what we're doing here is we're using a tool called Gleam. It's going to be like the other giveaways that we have done. We will send you a link to Gleam, and then you're going to go through that Gleam link and fill out all the options that you have in there, and then we will draw 20 winners from the pool that's created from that Gleam link. And if you win an account, we're going to show it on stream, right? We're going to do the giveaway on stream, and we're going to show all the winners on stream. And if you win, you will also get an email from Gleam, and then Alex will reach out to you as well. So there's no need to send us an email. We will reach out to you if you are a winner. If you're not getting any emails, you have not won an account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the link as a pinned comment in here in YouTube, and there's always also going to be a code.
I've just got one lot on. I'm gonna see what it's gonna be like, see how it does around this price, see if we just enter into the trade slowly. Up here's a little bit of resistance here. So I'm looking at if we get more divergence here. So we've got already all of this divergence. But the only thing is that, we've got the fast level still pushing up. So it's still got more momentum into it. Let's see what happens.
That divergence is on the 1 minute, right?
Yeah, it's 1 minute. I'm only looking for a small move. We've got a level up here. We haven't really got anything else. There was a lot of momentum in this move, to be fair.
So the link is pinned on YouTube. So just go to the YouTube comments, and you'll see the link pinned in the top comment on YouTube. So go in there and start filling out all the details there. And maybe we also have 2 more people that
yes,
to get a 100K account. I know the person you thought about, Victor, and I think I can actually see him in chat. Maybe you want to.
Where is USD CHF? Am I blind?
Sure. We have indeed as a token of our appreciation for your participation, Fernando, we would like to give you a 100K bootcamp account. That is to show that show our how much we appreciate the fact that you're always there, asking those good questions and participating. And it's been a great example for others. And I congratulate you on your prize. Enjoy it.
And I can also see another one that we've talked about, who Alex talked about.
Yeah, buddy. So Henry, you're obviously always here. We always see you guys. If you're see, there's so many. I see Harish as well. I wish I could give everybody an account, but Henry, you've got one as well. You're always very entertaining. So don't worry, you've got one. We're gonna slowly give people, people that keep turning up to the live trading rooms, accounts here and there. Obviously, just because we know that they're staying consistent. They're part of the community. So these are the first lot. So keep coming to the trading room. The more that we see you, the more obviously you're part of our community, and the more we want to reward you as well. Because there's a few people that we'd want to give more accounts to, but probably just not today. Let's see what Price is going to do right now.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of people in chat as well. I would love to give you every single one of you an account, but that's not really the way we're going to do it here. And we're going to be changing up the ways that we do the giveaways here in the future. We want to make sure that the people that actually do get an account is people that have provided value to the live streams. So yeah, it's going to be very, very exciting future here for the 5ers live trading room. We get a lot of good, big plans for the future. We're also talking a lot about integrating the live trading room with Discord. So everyone that is not in the Discord server, make sure that if you do have an active evaluation or a funded account, you go into the hub, the 5ers hub, then go into your program dashboard, and in the top right corner you will find the Discord icon. Click that and you'll gain access to the Discord. It's a free but not an open Discord. So you have to be a member of the you have to be a customer of the 5ers to actually be able to get into the Discord server. And in there you have Rich holding workshops and webinars, as well as Victor as well. Really high quality stuff in there. So I do highly recommend that you get into the Discord server.
We want to see that divergence on the 5 minute. I'm going to risk just 0.5%. So if it goes to 500, then I'm out, and I'll take the profits that I made from today.
It is quite strong though. If we look at PA, we haven't seen that blowout top yet. I mean, the first move could have been the top, but it broke it on at least in TU and also in EU. So I would be a little bit, I'm not talking about you, Alex, cautious. But in general,
I should be cautious as well.
Yeah, you should be cautious, because the PA is not, it can be extended, but I mean, market can continue to extend before it actually do what you think it might, or what I think it might, which is retrace a certain moment, right? Because of the extended how much extended it is. It's at 150, and now it's been even a little bit more, 150% extended. And this is like good areas if you have PA as well showing you that it's been rejecting some area. So if I show, for example, my screen and I go to the higher time frames, of course, if you have some kind of structure, right? The way you read your the way I read my PA is through the formation and invalidation of order block. So we are currently right now at an H4 structure, which may be what it needs to reverse, but on the lower time frame, it's not telling us that. So I'm not interested in going short, although the extension of today and everything looks great. It is at a great level, but if this is not the order block, then the next one will be the H4 above us. But so that could be something. But if the PA on the lower time frame does not confirm, right, then we have nothing to do, because you don't want to get in. Sometimes the market does things. Outliers have like outliers day where it doesn't go 150 and turn around, but just continues 190, 80, 200. It can happen, and it does happen from time to time. So just because something is less likely to happen doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It will happen at some time. And if you look at GU as well, we have a huge run, right? If you take out all these structures, look at that. This is the H4. Right, so it's very extended in my mind. Of course, this is very bullish, but it is maturing for a retracement anytime soon, I would think. But if we put these structures in, it had no problem at all breaking that H4, and we don't have on the H4, for example, we don't have any structures left. This is the weekly ATR, and I would say it's heading for the next structure above us, which is probably that daily. I don't have anything else on my screen, so I don't have any reference points where I say, okay, this is the structure here. I can define my risk, and it has a good chance of reversing. So on GU, actually, I want to show something. Jonathan, you remember we talked about this, how on EU, if you were going to put your TP into this order block, above this, you might as well put it to the next one, right? Remember we talked about that the let me show this a little bit better.
There was the gap. If you expect price to go higher, why not put it at the next level?
Yes, exactly. So and that's exactly what happened. Of course, it happened through news, but actually news is just the same price action that you see without news, just accelerated a lot of the time. So it does whatever it was going to do anyways, or it was pointing to do, but it just does it in a much more quicker. And that's exactly what it did, right? It broke that structure of supply, and it went straight to the next station, which is this one where we are right now. So I'm based on the ATR, this is getting interesting, but the timing, I think, is it needs to be, we need to consider the PA, because in the end, the market needs something. It needs to show us that, it is transitioning, decelerating, transitioning, breaking some structures on the lower time frames, and then it'll probably come down. And right now, if we look at the M1, this is just, I don't see any weakness at all in this, right? It is just
it's looking quite powerful. It's still pushing. It's still pushing up, and even though the volume in the candles, it is getting shorter. The volume, the momentum, even on the oscillators, is still pushing up. So I'm gonna probably start getting out of this position, I think. But isn't it bad though, the fact that the dollar is pushed down so much off this news, but crypto really hasn't reacted? That for me is a bad sign, man. That for me is a bad sign.
That means that the crypto is out of favor, right? If people are getting out of dollar, they're moving their funds to not the crypto is out of favor. They're going elsewhere with their flow.
Yeah.
All right, so we
I'm gonna
are
get
currently
rid
in
of
that area on this. These are the H4 and H2 structures I mentioned. I showed on the hourly time frame. So if we can break out of this, retest this from that side, then we can continue some more, even if it is unlikely as we're getting an extended. Otherwise, this could be a great place where the price could be showing some weakness, which it is not showing yet, but it could. I mean, if it starts breaking, make a fake breakout, break some structures, and then that could be something that could possibly get me interested. But right now, I don't see it. It's not showing us that.
Yeah, I don't see. I did get out of the positions for $200 loss. So if it does come down, starts breaking a little bit of structure on the 1 minute, then comes up for a retest, then I'll short that obviously down to its extension candle. But other than that, to be honest, I'm pretty happy with the way everything has gone. With regards to everybody talking about the giveaway, because I know you guys are new. This is the first time you're here, which is fantastic. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. But the giveaway, I know it says 30 days. Don't worry. We're going to be doing the giveaway live in front of you in a very short moment. You'll get an email from myself with a link. That link then you will be able to use for an account. Please don't blow this account. We've seen a lot of traders that have actually made some really good profits on there. We had a couple of traders that have actually passed and then blown it after they've got funded. We've had some traders that have got payouts. So, it is an account that is totally for free. So make sure you don't waste it. What are we thinking now with the PA?
Well, we have our first indication. This is on the 1 minute. This is nothing, but that's the first indication that we can see, which is an outside bar on the 1 minute. Outside bar on the 1 minute. That could be. I mean, but it throws the.
It comes. Oh, I see. It's being priced in. No, this is.
Should we add? Okay, is it? Nah, I don't think so, man. I'm probably gonna stay out of this. Sorry, Victor. I keep jumping and screaming silly things.
No problem.
Can I just go back and I want to
go ahead.
I've been waiting so long to pull up USD CHF because I wanted to show you.
Go ahead.
Let me just do that just quickly because we talked about this and Rich said be careful going into that. I think you're absolutely right. I did look at the numbers and I also saw a comment from the ISM Chair Miller or whatever, and he says that the numbers indicate that the overall economy is contracting for the first time in 17 months, which is obviously it's showing a difference here in the numbers that we haven't seen in a very long time, which is obviously very bearish for USD. So I think we need to be careful and to make sure that this move is just not continuing, because we might just see something like this, I think though, waiting for the 4-hour candle to close, it's 2 hours and 40 minutes. That should remove any concern, in that long amount of time. However, I keep forgetting that I'm not supposed to be trading today. So yeah, exactly. I don't know what I'm doing here. But yeah, okay. I think it's very important to understand that when a news event comes out and it's way unexpected, or it's just numbers are just way higher, or way lower than expected, make sure that you wait. Make sure that you wait for that move to be completed, and at least wait for the 1-hour candle to finish printing and see what the next 1-hour candle is doing. Because a lot of times you'll see this move continuing, and it can continue for quite some time. I know I'm pretty sure most of you have seen these insane 4-hour candles. You have one here, you got one, one right here, another one here, and then this one right here. I mean, yeah. So a lot of times you'll see that you'll see a reaction on the smaller on the lower time frames, and then when you zoom out, it's just going to be one big move straight through.
Yeah, I miss Clown Alex. Yeah, I miss Clown Alex as well. Okay, shall I get the giveaway started? Let me go in. Let me see if you guys have sorted all of that. Let's have a look.
Yeah, we got quite a few entries.
Is it on purpose, Jonathan?
No, I just have have a very bad memory. As you might, like, if you've been watching this live stream for a while, you know that, like, mid sentence I go quiet. I don't know why. It's probably because I'll keep forgetting what my point is. So it's better just to be quiet, like now.
Wow. 2,772 actions, which resulted into 35,000 entries. Which is
yeah. So I'm thinking. Yeah.
I'm thinking that
a lot of
who's using the bot? Who's using a bot to bot us?
Yeah, this is also one of the reasons why we need to change the way we're doing giveaways, because I feel like it's not genuine. It's a lot of people. But with to be fair though, we've had 6,000 views on this live stream.
Wow.
On YouTube alone. So in the span of 2 hours and 20 minutes, we have had 6,000 people watching the live stream. So it kind of makes sense to have 50% of those actually going into the giveaway. So yes, Rich do have a YouTube channel. It's called Take Action Trading, and you can find the link in the description. We did have a little problem with the link. Sometimes I clicked it, but it didn't work. So if you can't find it, what I'm gonna do is, if it doesn't work in the description, I'm just going to post it in the chat, and you can all join from there. Make sure you give Rich a subscribe here on YouTube.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's not that's an order. Go in, give him a subscribe.
Another
I'm afraid
request.
to talk about the price point on GU. I was looking at the 127.64 or 674. Price is holding really close to it. It's just wicked it ever so slightly. And a really good 4-hour level. It's the base of that 4-hour candle that was the last drive up candle that made the high. The problem is I don't really want an 80 pip stop loss. So I'm kind of looking for the market to start breathing around about where it is and seeing how I can fade the market back to the downside. Much like Alex, if I'm looking to do this, I'm going to use very, very small orders and not going in with my full size at the moment. Failing that, wait for 1 minute break. Sorry, John.
I think that level right there, this is on the daily, but I mean, I can just see this being like perfect resistance on the daily, and you got that level right in the middle. I would love to see GU come up and test that level. If it does, that also creates a quite a nice invalidation area. Maybe it's not going to come up and test that level though, but if it does, I think that is really good level right there. Are you when you're looking for shorts, because I guess that's what you're doing here? Would you want to see like a structure break here? Like, so this is on the 5 minute, right? And maybe something like this, right? Would you want to see this before you go into trade?
Yeah, typical break and retest. So if we can move down the structured timeframes on the 15 minute, you've not got a bearish candle until below the initial news push. So I'd now drop down to the 5 minute. I'd be following the 5 minute structure back. It's still exactly the same. And if you want to get super aggressive, I'd be down on the 1 minute. I'd be looking for a very, very simple break and retest. And where are we now on the 1 minute? Would we find an entry? Yeah, we would. We've just broken the 1 minute structure. Did you get in, Alex?
Yeah, I did. I've got in for just 2 lots, just keeping it.
What are we looking at, though? Is it EU or GU?
I'm in EU, actually. Sorry, I'm not GU.
Let's look at EU. Well,
I'm on EU.
Yeah, for me, I would want to see this break first. But I guess you're looking at that level, as the break and retest.
A little bit lower.
Okay.
We go
So
just
probably here.
bit lower. We're going to go under the bearish candle just to the left of that.
Exactly.
right here.
I got on that
Okay.
retest.
Yeah, just as soon as we break down under that, I look at the market as there's more selling interest coming in than buying interest, because we're now moving lower than the last drive up, and now anticipating a retest into that price point, and sellers to defend their position, buyers to realize they're wrong, start bailing out and adding that selling pressure as we come down. We can also look back to the left and try and mark out higher time frame zones to sell as well. Same concept. 2-hour zone, I think, or 4-hour zone that Victor called out earlier. I think price is within that price point as well.
Yeah, it's nice. It looks like it's coming down. I don't think it's going to come down to massive. This is going to be just an in-out trade. It's a shame that I actually took off all the size before we got the move. There you go. That does happen, but at least we got back in a little bit.
If I would short this, I would definitely be looking for a move down to these areas here. Yeah. Well,
Why is there nobody?
Look at that.
Trading channel. Nobody talk trading Nasdaq.
77.66.
77.66. Okay. I would like to show what my structures on the lower time frames to. Thank you. What I see is that we are reacting as we would expect from that order block, right? The bigger order block, that's the H2, and the tighter one is the H4. And if I didn't have anything else, where I would expect some kind of reaction, and we are getting that. This is on the 3-minute. You can see the order block on the 3-minute being formed there. We didn't have any of that before this happened. We did have one order block there, but we didn't have follow through, and that is something we are having right now, right? So it's not just one incidental order block somewhere, but it is in the context of the H4. But also it is showing you more than once that it wants to, something is changing. It doesn't mean this is going to be the top, but currently my structural lines or my structure where it breaks the structure, the quasi lines, are on the 1-minute. It's this one, which is right below the where price were before the news came out, and on the 3 minutes it's way much lower. And what I want to see is I like this reaction that the market did. I repeat, on that H4 doesn't mean I'm going to short it yet, but now I have some reference point. I'm going to be waiting for when it comes back, and I'm actually expecting for it to be taking this out, and I hope it does that, because it's the first indication of a top that the market is putting. And what do we get? We get people shorting from there, putting their stops right there. The market comes back, takes them away, takes them out, and then reacts, right? That we see that all the time. So I'm expecting that to happen maybe once, but probably a couple of times before it actually comes down, if it is going to come down. And so one of the things that I would like to see is on every time frame, or as many time frame as possible, on the 1, the 3, and hopefully on the 5 as well. I would like to see this would be the structure that needs to be taken out, right? So what I expect this to be a temporary high that will get taken out and then come back to break that. That's what I'm expecting. So this is not the actual line yet, because we need to have the head for you to have that structural break. My actual structural breaks are much lower right now, but this is how I preemptively start to think, okay, this could be the neckline if we go higher, which we haven't yet. And if it breaks it, then and only then I'm interested when it comes back to something in this leg, which hopefully happens in this H4, and then I'm going to be trying to participate in that last leg, which is if my trading view cooperates with me, which would be that leg. If anything, right? We don't have a lot to go on with. We only have an H4 order block, which is way to the left. They're not very how do you say that? Because it's not fresh, right? Because it's not fresh, they're not very precise. That's one of the things. So, but it is the only reference points we have if price reversing, and it is extended, so it makes sense that it's going to grab either this opportunity or the next one, which is above us. So if it is this one, it should show that on the lower time frames. It should start to break those structures and then show you that transition, start forming order blocks on the lower time frames, 1, 2, 3, or 5 minute, whatever you have. And from there, after the PA is showing me that, that's when I want to get in to short this, if it forms it. If not, then that's it. That's fine by me too. I'm just going to be an observer.
Let me pull up. I don't think, we're in a good place. A good place to short. I wouldn't be surprised. It's on the 1 minute, so this can just get totally invalidated. Price come back up, take up the highs, and then go lower, because at the end of the day, it's only a break on the 1 minute. But I would be looking to take profit on the 1735. But we are at that time for all of you lovely boys and girls.
I'm going to take a trade. It's time.
Not today, remember? Not today.
Well, what if I take it on valuation account?
On the 5 minute, you said on the 5K, right? You said you're going to be taking it on the 5K.
If I take it with 2% risk, I will pass the evaluation account in one trade.
Okay, this is definitely why I'm going to put it onto the giveaway platform right now.
Those ideas, Jonathan, are...
Yeah, not today. Yeah, okay. Not today.
Not today.
Not today. Not today. It's going to be a winner, though.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah, buddy. Lightweight.
Let's go. Nice. All right. Is that everyone?
All them winners. That is everybody.
All right.
We'll do another little boogie woogie before we end the stream, because thank you very much for everybody coming in today. It's been
thanks everyone. It's been awesome. It's been one of our most successful live streams to date. So I would like to thank you all for joining, and everyone who's joined. Everyone who's new. Hopefully, this giveaway stream has opened your eyes to the to the value of these live streams and the educational value. We're not only here to give away accounts, we're actually here to give away value. We're here to give away knowledge so that you can use it on your evaluation accounts and get funded. That's the whole idea. We want to help you guys get funded.
Actually got an account in the end, so well done.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. There you go. So those are all of the people that won today. So congratulations.
I got some really good guests coming up next week as well. So it's going to be a very interesting week next week as well. So as you know, this is the last live stream of this week, and we do have some really interesting ideas for next week. So make sure that you do hit that subscribe button and click that bell notification button so that you'll get notified next time we go live, because I promise you do want to see what we have in store for you next week. And thank you, Rich, for staying on here for almost the whole you were on for the whole live stream, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
The whole thing.
2.5 hours. Wow.
Whole thing.
It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me on. It's always to celebrate the 40K milestone. I don't think it's going to be long until the big 50 hits as well. So
no, we just hit 41K now. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
But Rich, where can people find you other than being obviously Traderlicious and on the 5ers Discord? Where can they find you for some take action trading?
I have a little YouTube channel called Take Action Trading. I've only got 5 videos on there just to encourage traders to physically take action. Nothing changes if we think about it. It's the actions we do. So I just create content around on that channel when I get a moment, and it's all to do with my journey as a trader. Haven't figured it all out. Only been doing it 6 years, but absolutely grinding at it every single day. Funded, but trying to get to that 2 million level. So that's where you can find me. Take Action Trading on YouTube.
Wicked. Guys, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye. See you guys next week.
Who's
That's
clicking the button?
Great outro. I'm gonna click it. I'm gonna click it.
Hi guys, so thank you very much for watching the video. Now make sure you like and subscribe, and most of all, go into the YouTube and check our other